Well, here's a cassette deck that really didn't need any work, and I wasn't going to do a video on it, but this is such a nice deck. I wanted to kind of show the inside of it. And this is an Akai, let's see, model GX-F44R. Very nice, soft touch controls, plays both ways, auto reversing. Now on the door, which I've taken off, to just as clean, and demag heads, which I have already done. And this was a little slow to go into reverse, fast forward, and fast rewind. So I took the top off and exercised a little bit, and then put a little lubricant in the fast forward and rewind motor, which is right here. And that seems to have taken care of it. Now it goes into fast forward, fast rewind, and moves quickly. So that combination maybe of just exercising a little bit and lubing up the motor. But I want to show this. See those massive flywheels down there, one for each spindle. That's why this thing plays so well, you know, with a very low flutter, because that's just, you get all that mass moving and get a very smooth movement of the tape. And yeah, this thing sounds great. Both directions. Yeah, too bad it doesn't have VU meters, but this was made in released in '83, so they had already started to get rid of them by then. And they thought this LED thing was really cool. So this is working perfectly, so I'm going to put it back together again. I just wanted to show quality of construction of this thing. Oh, and one other thing I did too is, if you look way down there, let me zoom in. That was originally strapped in the 110 configuration, which everything is 120 volts now in the US. It also has a 220 and a 240 strap, depending on what country you're in. So I moved it over to the 120. See right there, it was in the 110 before. So that's the only other change that I made to it, and sounds great. So I'll put it back in its huge wooden case down here, and send this one back to its owner. Working great, sounding good. Alright, here's the Akai back in its beautiful wood case, which just doesn't just go over the top. It's completely, it slides in. It's completely surrounds the unit. And this is playing great, both directions. And it's moving into fast forward and fast wind. So yeah, if you come across one of these, pick it up if you can get it cheap, because this thing is a very nice quality cassette deck. Sounds great too. So again, just a quick kind of review and a little bit of a maintenance on the Akai GX-F44R stereo cassette deck from 1983, I believe it was. So not a repair video, just a quick review. So thanks very much for watching. See you in the next one. Well, it looks like this may be a repair video after all. While doing just some last minute checks and recording tests, I found, and this thing actually records in both directions, which I think is cool. When you make a recording, it is only, if you noticed that when I first started playing, it's only playing in reverse, or the right hand side, or the right channel, instead of both channels. Now this is a pre-recorded right here, so that's playing both channels. So it seems like when you now on when I recorded, I saw both channels being recorded, but it's only playing the right channel on playback of something that this machine records. So some issue in there. I'll take it apart and check it out. So more to come. Alright, got this back apart again. And so here's the switch that switches the different Dolby noise reduction levels in. And again, it's only working on the C setting and not the B or off. So now here's the switch right behind that that I'm switching around. So I sprayed that with contact cleaner, hoping maybe that would be it, and it wasn't. So right down in here, I can zoom in on that. There's something called TP record. It's got two test points, one for left, one for right. Right here on the drawing, it shows that there's the left and the right. So just poking around on that. Now I've got a signal coming in and it's set on recording, and at the proper level. I've got it paused so it's not moving tape, so it thinks it's recording. So if you look at these test points for the right and left, okay, on this one, which I think is the right, it's reading 630 millivolts, but you switch it over to the other side and it's reading pretty much nothing. Unless you put it on C, and then both right and left are reading 600 millivolts. I can get it to stay on the connection there. So that's at least pointing out that there is a true problem, and I'm measuring that on the test point for recording. So let's look on the schematic and see where that goes. Alright, so get a pointer here. Here's that test point record. Now I think the schematic's only showing one side, but it's identical for both right and left. So that's where I'm seeing the signal disappear, and you can see on the off and the B setting, it's basically coming from the same spot. You know, it's this spot here and this spot here, which are tied together. And you know, that goes through that resistor here, there, and that capacitor, electrolytic capacitor. Uh-oh. So both off and B go through that same capacitor, but C is connecting this spot to this spot. No, wait, it's connecting there to there, and that goes off to a different electrolytic capacitor and circuit. So the fact that that capacitor is common with both the B and the off, I'm suspecting that might be bad. So where is that on the circuit? It is right there. So let's see if we get any voltage on that one. So there's two C44s, right and the left. One's there and one's buried right down there somewhere. Let me get some more light out on the subject here. Okay, so there's one C44. And you can see I put a black mark on that, so I've already done some investigating. I think that's the bad one. And here's the other one. So what I've done is, with that signal coming in, that sine wave coming from my laptop, I see that signal on both sides of one of the capacitors, this one here, but only on one side of the other one. So I think that capacitor is just bad. So I'm going to take this board, flip it over, just replace both of those. I've got a couple replacement caps here, so see if that fixes the issue. Okay, I replaced both those capacitors. They actually measured okay down in here, but now with all this back together again and it in the record mode, if I measure both sides, both A and B, or right and left, so I get 600 millivolts on that side, and get on that one, I'm getting 600 millivolts or so, and that's in the off mode where I was getting nothing before. So on all these I'm getting voltage now on that record input, so I'm going to go ahead and button this all together and see if I can make recordings on all different Dolby noise reduction settings. Okay, got the faceplate back on and all the switches set up, and everything's displaying correctly. Reset's working again. Getting this faceplate on with all the buttons lining up and everything takes a little bit of effort, but I got it. So now I'm making recording. Turn it up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and record this song and then play it back just to make sure that I'm getting a recording with Dolby Noise Reduction off or on B-type. If that's working, that's the last little thing I need to do. So I'll put the top back on and put it back in the case if this turns out okay. So let's check and see. Alright, I'm on playback of what I just recorded. Turn it up a little bit. I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you. And that is sounding great. So again, the only electrical issue with this is that because of a couple, well, I replaced two of these capacitors, but at least one of them was not working properly. When I actually tested these out of circuit, they tested okay, but I was definitely not getting any signal through one of them. So I don't know if that was just a bad solder joint and that fixed it, or if the capacitor was just a little intermittent. But anyway, it's working now, sounding very, very good, recording well. So I'm going to button this one up and send it back. Alright, the Akai model GX-F44R. So I'll put back together this beautiful wood case. And everything is working perfectly. I like this. I mean, it plays in both directions. See, it switches back and forth. Tells you which way it's playing. Fast forwards. It rewinds. Recording is working again. Pause button. Everything that I know how to use on this thing is working properly, including this cool feature here where you can tell it to just play one side, or play one side and then the other side, or in this position it just plays both sides back and forth continuously. I also have a feature here to when you turn the thing on to automatically play, or you turn that feature off, or automatically record. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but it has the feature. And variable output, Dolby B and C. Again, you can record on all those now. It's just missing the VU meters, but I guess by the time this came out, those things, the jumping LEDs were popular. So I prefer the older ones, but that's what it has. So there we go. That's the end of the restoration. Mostly, well, a little bit mechanical on the mechanism and a cleanup. And we actually had an electrical issue on this one. I had a bad capacitor or two that was replaced to get it to record properly. So that's it on this one. Thanks very much for watching. See you in the next video.